Another entertaining weekend here at Midco Arena. Here to break it all down once again, Augie head coach Garrett Raboin. You get a split with Alaska Anchorage. 6-5 loss in overtime on Friday. You come back Saturday with a 3-0 shutout victory over the Seawolves. Two very, very different games stylistically. What was your assessment overall of the weekend?
Well, I thought they were entertaining games. Credit to Anchorage. They have ability, they have talent. I felt like they played, which forced us to loosen up a little bit and playing ourselves. I think 11 pucks go in the net on Friday, and then just a much more organized game on Saturday by both teams. Zack Rose stood really tall, 120 minutes of a shutout streak right now for him, which we're really excited for him at this time in his career to be playing at such a high level. We're glad he's on our side.
Let's break down Friday's game first. You get that first goal really quickly. Colton Friesen scores less than 2 minutes in. Unfortunately for you guys, Anchorage scores less than a minute later, and then it was kind of back and forth. They scored 2, you scored 3. Did you expect the game to be as free-flowing as it was?
No, we didn't, and we gave up 3 unanswered, and then we fight back with some goals of our own. We felt like our power play showed up, which we've been wanting it to answer for a while, and it finally looked like a power play should. So we were happy. There was elements through both games, though, that we were excited about. But there's also things we can correct and things to build on as we go into a meaningful week of preparation this week before Fairbanks.
You mentioned the power play. 3 power play goals and 4 opportunities on Friday. That was a positive to take away from it. And you said post-game that you wanted the guys to make quicker decisions. Was that like an emphasis in practice or something they just kind of figured out on their own?
I think it was. It has been a focus of our preparation, and and I talk about it. Some of it's continuity and who's on the ice. Some of it's chemistry. And just a sense of urgency that you have to have when you're on the power play. And our guys did a great job this weekend, and they scored a variety of different ways. It wasn't just a 1A, 1B, because both units helped. We had an extra attacker goal on the power play. We also scored off the rush on the power play. So stuff to build with. Should be encouraging for our guys to know that there's some elements that are working in there.
Let's talk about Saturday's game. As I mentioned, very different stylistically. It was scoreless until the third. You get a power play goal from Owen Bond after he had one taken away due to goaltender interference. That was the ruling in the second period. And then you guys score less than a minute later. You talked about how your guys kind of build off that momentum of that first goal. You had a couple instances this year where you scored twice in less than a minute.
Yeah, and a lot of it, too, it speaks to the home crowd. They love to score at the student end, as they did again this weekend. And it was kind of a muddy, ugly game through 2 periods. The great thing was we entered the third period. It's tied 0-0. We still have a chance, and we felt like we had a whole lot better in our group. And then we were able to find the net, score quickly thereafter, and then Rudrud puts one in the empty net.
And you mentioned him earlier, Zack Rose now, 2nd consecutive shutout, 120 consecutive minutes without allowing anything past the red line. I mean, when you assess Rose and him coming here after all the injuries he went through and to be still so effective in his last year of collegiate hockey, that's got to be special for you as a coach as well.
Well, it is, and he there's the 2 shutouts that he's earned most recently, but there's so much more than the player with Zack and his impact on this program. And think of him mentoring 2 freshmen along the way, how he handles himself in all aspects of being a student athlete. He just does things the right way, and he's helped to form some people that we can really build with in this program.
You mentioned it. Final regular season games of the year coming up this weekend here at home at Midco Arena against Alaska Fairbanks on Friday and Saturday. And another first for you guys. It's a first rematch against an opponent you've seen earlier this year. As a coaching staff, are you kind of relishing the prep week and getting to look at some familiar film?
I think so. Now, this was a week that I was gone, so I'm excited to see Fairbanks for the first time. Coach Nelson, Wild Ungman Demers did a terrific job when they were up there in Fairbanks. But it's going to be a great weekend of hockey. I know Fairbanks is going to be really excited to come here and play for the first time. Our guys should be excited for a rematch because the Nanooks carried the load of the points in the last series. And it's just another opportunity for us to play as a program together. And I'm excited to see what our guys can put out on the ice. I think it's going to be a tremendous crowd again with great energy. And we're going to get our work in this week and fired up for Friday and Saturday.